Hello, I am Certified Moth. Thank you for stopping on my video. And today I am going to be finally starting my next sketchbook. And when I say start, I mean just do like the intro bits because I'm already basically done this sketchbook. I think I have like 15 to 20 pages left. So, yeah, I put this off for a little while. So in most of my old sketchbooks, my intro page was always a drawing of my characters. I was kind of inspired by how Oliver's Antics does his sketchbooks, but lately I've been a bit less character focused. I've been doing a lot more of the fine arts for school, so I thought maybe it'd be a fun tradition to start doing self-portraits at the beginning of every sketchbook, just to sort of show where I am at the time, and I think it'd be fun to look back on to see what I used to look like when I started the sketchbook. As well, I also did paint because I was interested in seeing how acrylic paint holds up in the sketchbook, and it goes onto the paper really nicely, but I can only do one side of the spread acrylic, I think, because this ended up really sticking together quite a bit, which is too bad. In this portrait, I was trying to hone into my painting style just a little bit more, figure out what I want it to be, and so what I was doing a pretty realistic painting in terms of proportion, and then in terms of my brushstroke and color choices, I let myself be more free and less realistic, and I think I really like the effect of it. There's definitely some issues with the anatomy. I still have a bit of trouble with realism. I think the eyes are off, and maybe it's a bad time to say that because the eyes look really freaky right now. I promise they get better. I also chose a kind of tricky angle from sort of the underside of my face, something I've never really painted before. So, yeah, but I think it's a bit easier to do that angle in painting than it is in drawing, which is kind of interesting. I think the thing I struggled with the most in this painting was actually the glasses. I like to paint most of my paintings with pretty large brushes. It forces me to be more gestural and think about how to use big brush strokes for an area instead of a bunch of small ones. But I think I just need to take the L and get a small paintbrush for the glasses because they're definitely pretty off and they're way too thick, especially the glass part of them. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that choice, but I'm not gonna go back and fix it because that would mean mixing more colors and I'm not doing that. Since I ended up going with so much blue and yellow in the actual portrait, I decided to make the background red with bits of that yellow underpainting sneaking through, and I really like the way this background turned out actually. I'm very pleased with it. I love all the little brush strokes all over it. I do wish maybe I'd even just let a little bit more of the yellow underpainting sort of peek through to complement the yellow in the skin, especially on the cheek. I think it would have helped it blend a bit nicer, but I did add a little bit of red into the rest of the portrait to make it match a bit better, and I think that helped. I was also experimenting a bit more with my lettering style. I quite like the way the lettering turned out, and I really like the way the lines in the background helped the piece. So the next thing I did was I added some stickers. I added some of my own stickers from my Pride Flags character design series. I did the bisexual one on the front and the gay one on the back. And yeah, ignore the bird sticker on there. I recently realized it was AI generated. I ended up covering it up, but yeah, that was kind of a bummer. A couple years back, I got this antiquarian sticker book, so I used some of the little stickers from there to fill up the empty spaces, and also they're just very cute. Here's me putting the other Pride Flag sticker on. I was okay with the quality of these stickers, but I'm just finding that I don't know how much I love the quality of Redbubble stickers all the time. I mean, they're fine, but I'm quite interested in someday designing more stickers and actually getting some manufactured. I suppose if I ever get to the point where I want to open up a Patreon or something, that would be something I'd look into, but yeah, I'm just more interested in having a bit more say in the production process and making sure it actually turns out how I want. Next, I made a sketchbook goals little page. Maybe it's kind of pointless at this point because, yeah, I would think I was already well over halfway done the sketchbook by the time I made this, but I ended up just highlighting some of the stuff I'd already been working on and then reminding myself of a few things that I still plan to work on. So But I mean, overall, I think it's more for the aesthetic than it was for actual goal purposes. So I'll just list off some of my goals. So one of them was to work on more mixed media pieces. One of them was to do more collaging and collecting in here. One of them was to work on keeping my drawings loose. I wanted to practice some more drawing from life. I wanted to draw more scenes and objects. I wanted to make more colored and finished pages, and I wanted to experiment, and then I usually put in a little note that says have fun. I don't know, I always have fun in my sketchbooks, but I just feel like it's nice to have a little positive note in there at the end to sort of tell myself, hey, it's not all about improving or making it pretty. I added in these little bug decorations. They're not stickers, they're just like pieces of paper with bugs printed on them, and then they have some like gold bits on them. They're really fun. I got them at the dollar store, so I stuck a bunch of them in here because I usually have a hard time finding good places for them to go. They're just a bit too big for the sketchbooks I use normally. So I figured they can just get like a whole little page to their own, and that's how they'll work nicely. Oh yeah, and I feel like right now is a good time to say where the other stickers I used came from. There were only 2 from Redbubble. One was by Robinauts, like Robin A-U-T-S, that was the tomato cat. And then the Splatoon grate sign was by That's So. So yeah. Also, I painted over the old lettering because it was kind of the wrong way. It didn't make sense for a book cover, I don't think. I don't know. It was bugging me, so I fixed it. Then for the background of the cover, I used my Posca markers to write the number of the sketchbook, and then I outlined some of the stickers. And I don't know if it's just me, but I haven't been the biggest fan of Poscas. Like, when they work for me, I love them, but they don't work. Like, some of the colors are just not opaque no matter how many times I try to fix the marker. I feel like I'm constantly having to, like, repump the marker and try to get the paint coming out again. So I'm really interested in trying the Artex markers at some point to see if they work a bit more for the kind of art I'm trying to create. And then I also added some little cloud shapes and also some stars. I tried to pick colors that were already sort of in this piece, so pinks, greens, and then yellow. The one thing I really can praise the Posca markers for is I wasn't sure how they would hold up on the cover of my sketchbook because it goes in and out of bags a lot. It goes everywhere with me, but they have held up to being carried around. And I mean, I've only had the markers on there for I guess a couple weeks now, but I don't know. I don't know how they would hold up if I had the sketchbook for longer, like months or even a year. But I don't use my sketchbooks for that long, so yeah, it's actually been quite nice that it hasn't been scraping or rubbing off, so I was impressed by that. So here's the finished product. I covered up that bird sticker. I am really quite happy with the way this turned out. I don't always decorate my sketchbook covers, but it's a lot of fun to customize it and just make it yours. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching until the end. Goodbye.